I never knew that ignoring these mistakes would really hurt my channel growth and monetization. Because when the side effects started coming, I thought it was just the algorithm trying to understand my audience avatar before pushing my video. But little did I know that I was helping make it more difficult for the algo to push my videos. So in today's video, I'm going to break down these mistakes for you so you won't suffer like me. Or if it's already affecting your channel, you can correct that right now. So let's get right into it. So the first mistake here is what I call content positioning. This has to do with research and understanding your niche, your audience, and understanding their problems, and presenting your content as a solution to that problem which they have. So how do content positioning hurt a YouTube channel, especially when you are growing or when you are starting up? So before you start as a small creator, you first need to understand who is your audience. Everyone on YouTube is not your audience. You first need to define your audience avatar. Okay, you need to understand who are these people that is going to watch my videos. What kind of content am I making? That is what you do with content and niche research. You need to understand who is your audience. What is their gender? What is their age? What is their location? What are their needs? What are the kind of things that they do? Try to imagine what are the kind of things that your audience love. The kind of things they love to see, the kind of things they love to watch, and the things that they frown at. What are their problems? What are the things that they expect from a video? What are the things that are causing them pain? And how can you present your video and position your channel as a solution to these problems? How can you position your content as a solution to these problems that your audience has? So if you understand these things, that will highly influence the kind of content you make. And most importantly, positioning your content as a solution to that problem which they have. Every audience has a problem. Every audience has a need. Every audience has some pain they want to get rid of. So you need to understand these things and understand that every good piece of content has a specific audience with a specific problem that needs or require a specific solution. So once you understand this thing and craft your videos to match these problems as a solution, once the algorithm pushes this video to this particular audience, they will click on the video and they will watch and they will subscribe. Because people subscribe to your videos because they want to see more videos. And if your video resonates with their problems, it resonates with their answers, their questions, then they will want to subscribe because they will want to learn more. They will want to see more videos. Okay? This also affects for those who are doing businesses on YouTube. You need to understand the products you are selling. What are you trying to sell on YouTube? Are your content actually hitting the pain and problem of your audience? And if it's doing that, they will highly engage in the content and they will want to know more about your product. So you need to learn to position your content as a solution to the problems which your audience have. That is what I call content positioning. I didn't really know about this when I was starting because I was just dabbling around everything. I was just making all random content. But now, I now understand these things and I'm now trying to correct my mistake. And I don't also want other small creators out there like me to also suffer these things. The second thing is your title strategy. One of the strategies that I wish I knew about titles is learning how to craft my video titles to represent the desired result or outcome that my audience is expecting. And what I mean by this is, for example, let's say you're making videos on how to help people grow on YouTube. So instead of making a video title that says how to get 1,000 subscribers, that is a very strong title. But what if we make it stronger? There is still smaller things that you can add to it that will make it stronger. We know that our audience wants to get 1,000 subscribers. But what if we say how to gain 1,000 subscribers in 7 days? Now, do you see the difference between the two? The other one is how to get 1,000 subscribers. So there is no time frame. And the other one says how to get 1,000 subscribers in 7 days. Now, if you present these two videos right now, these two video titles, majority of people will click on the second one, which has a time frame, because that time frame increased the click-through rate of the other video. Because people want to know how long will it take me to get these 1,000 subscribers. We already know that you say, okay, this is a video on how to get 1,000 subscribers, but you did not specify if they're going to get this result in 1 year, in 2 days, in 1 month, in 7 days, but the other person specified something. So learning to craft a video title to represent the desired result or outcome that your audience is expecting with a specific time frame or a specific result or outcome, that will help improve the click-through rate of a video. And I'm just getting to learn these things right now. You can also use this strategy in different niches. Let's say you are doing fitness. Okay, you can do something like this: how to lose belly fat in 7 days, or how to do this in 7 days. You can always try to add something that will show the person that, okay, this is the solution, because this strategy also falls back to the positioning that we were talking about earlier. Because now you know the pain and suffering of your audience. Now you have a solution with your video, and you are presenting your video as a solution. And you know that they want to get rid of this pain. Now your video should be a solution, and the title should tell them that, okay, this video has a solution to the problem that you are facing. So if you try to craft your video title as a solution, or stating it clearly there on the title, the specific solution that they desire, the specific result or outcome that they desire, once they see that, okay, this is the specific solution that you are looking for, they will click on the video. Now, the third mistake that I wish I knew when starting on YouTube is thumbnail strategy. We all know that thumbnails has more than 90% effect on a video getting clicked. And it has a very strong connection with the title of the video. Because they say if the food is not really looking good, you might not even want to have a taste. So for you to have that attraction towards that particular dish, it needs to look presentable. And that is what we're talking about on thumbnails. And the simple strategy that you can always use on your thumbnail that will always make a winning thumbnail is adding the pain or the suffering or the weakness of your audience on the thumbnail. And this has two parts. First part is for those who are using text and also images and other things. So let's say your audience are struggling to grow on YouTube. On the thumbnail, there should be maybe an expression of someone who is really tired or suffering. And there should also be maybe a graph that shows 0 views, or a graph that shows the desired result they want, which is maybe 1,000 subscribers, $10,000 revenue on YouTube. So adding the pain or the weakness of the audience on the thumbnail has to do with, first, if you're using your face, your expression is part of it. If it's something that has to do with a desired result, you can use laughter, happiness, and those expressions, those emotions. If you add emotion to your thumbnails, it will increase click-through rate. Now, the text that you overlay on your thumbnail has a bigger advantage to your thumbnail. Let's also use the example of getting 1,000 subscribers. You can put an image of someone who is really happy and says, I got 1,000 subscribers in 7 days. Now, that text reinforces something. With that excitement on the person's face, if they see that thumbnail and they look down, look at the title, and they will see how to gain 1,000 subscribers in 7 days, or how I gained 1,000 subscribers in 7 days, or the new pattern of getting 1,000 subscribers in 7 days. Now, once they see that, they will know that, okay, this is something I want to click on. Or if they see someone who is very sad on the thumbnail, and the thing is showing 0 subscribers after 90 days, and then the title is saying how to gain 1,000 subscribers in 7 days, they will want to be curious to ask questions, and they will want to click on the video. So learn to incorporate or add the pain or the suffering or the weakness of the audience on your thumbnail, or the desired result that they want to get from the video. That thing that you know that you want your audience to gain after watching the video, try to add it on the thumbnail. So let's say you made a video on how you destroyed a mansion with dynamite. So on the thumbnail, you should have an image of a mansion that is crashing to the ground. Now, anyone that is interested in those kind of content are going to click on it because they see a dynamite and also they see a house that is falling to ashes. So this is another thing that I actually wish I knew about thumbnails before starting on YouTube. Now, the fourth thing that I wish I knew is learning how to structure a compelling hook for my video. And a good example of this is the hook of this video. And for you to craft a compelling hook, the hook must start with a problem or insight that matters so much to the viewer. Just like the way I started this video, I was like, I never knew that ignoring these mistakes would cost me my channel monetization. And also showing the pain or the problem and promising them that in this video, this is the solution that they're looking for. So you need to start the hook with the insight or a problem that matters so much to the viewer. And after showing them that pain, then you promise them that in this video, they are going to learn something that will help them solve this problem. So that is how you construct a compelling hook. So you first of all hit their pain, hit their problem, then you now tell them that in this video, you'll see that most of the big channels always use this phrase, in this video. That is telling them that in this particular video that they're watching, they are going to get the solution of this particular problem that you just showed them. Now, for someone that is working on fitness, for example, you can say, what if I tell you that you don't have to skip your meals to be able to lose 100 pounds? In this video, I'm going to show you the simple morning routine that you can change today that will help you lose 100 pounds in less than 15 days. Do you see it? So you now tell them, hit their pain, hit their weakness, then you now promise something to them. That is how you create a compelling hook. I hope that helps. Now, the fifth mistake is the video body. So you need to make sure that your video has all the solution you promised, from the title to the thumbnail to the hook. And another little secret also is that you can always learn to share experiences and stories about yourself or about those who have already tried what you're trying to share, or try to create a story that you can share in the video. That will help to hook people in to be more interested in learning and trying to understand what is going on. Stories always work. And if you try to incorporate them, stories, experiences, it will help put your viewer in the same spot you are. It will help them to be like, okay, this guy understands what I'm feeling or what I'm going through, or he has already gone through this before. So try to share some stories or experiences. That will always help to increase retention and interest in your video. And another thing also that should be in the video body is always asking questions. Try to ask questions related to the video or related to their pain or related to the solution. Okay, this will increase more interest and increase retention, because while they are watching the video, you are asking them questions, you are also providing solution, because questions increase curiosity, and that will also help increase interest and retention rate. Now, the sixth mistake is crafting a good call to action. So after you are done crafting your video and everything, you need to make sure that you have a good call to action that is either inviting them to subscribe to your channel, to subscribe to your newsletter, to buy your product, or to go to your bio to check out your website or anything. And crafting your call to action has some little tweak that you can put to it to increase people respecting your call to action. And you do this by also adding some little promises of something to increase interest and increase expectation. Okay, you can be like, don't forget to subscribe, because in the next video, I'm going to talk about how to get more views on your videos. You already taught them about how to increase subscriber rates. And anyone that is also increasing subscriber rate will also want to increase viewership. You're still using the example of the guy that is teaching how to get 1,000 subscribers in 7 days. So you will see that it's not just telling them to subscribe to the channel, but he's telling them to subscribe because there is something they will gain if they subscribe. Okay, that is making a promise without commitment. If you learn these things, it's going to improve the value of your video, it's going to increase the quality of your video, and also increase the way people engage in your video, the way they react, the way they click, and also how they subscribe to your channel. And the last thing that is always a problem for all new creators is consistency and patience. After you've done all these things that I just listed now, you need to be patient with yourself, with your content, and with your channel, and with the algorithm. Because you are doing everything right doesn't mean that everything will just click immediately. You also need to learn to be patient with yourself. Allow the algorithm to understand your audience and understand who needs to see your video and how to push it to them. And being patient means that you also be consistent. That means you need to show up every day and upload a video. Okay? You need to continue uploading. You need to continue uploading more videos. Keep uploading more videos. Because you are doing everything right, just keep uploading. And one day, one of your video will just pick up, because the algorithm now understands who needs to see your video. He understands that you are consistent. He understands that you are providing value. And he knows that, okay, this content is very much important and valuable. And there are people who needs to see this content, and he will show that video to them. So learn to apply these principles and you will thank me later. I wish I knew about these things. I just discovered everything after trying to understand my channel and its growth just this week. And I decided to make this video because I know that there are other smaller creators like me who also don't know about some of these things and who are also making the mistake that I made in the past. And I also want them to improve and grow. And if there are other things that you also learned or you also know about starting on YouTube, you can drop them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos on personal growth and development and how to harness your inner power to increase success in any aspect of life and also to grow on YouTube. See you in the next video.